Trade jobs are some of the most in-demand, secure, and high-paying jobs out there. Visit the link in our bio to learn how to get into one.
I'm a roofer.
And how much do you make?
About $70,000 a year.
Okay. How many years of experience?
7 years.
Any career advice?
Don't be a roofer.
Why?
It's tough on the body. I'm 32 years old and I feel like I'm 90.
I'm a dental assistant.
How much do you make?
I make about $50,000 a year.
Cool. How many years of experience?
I have 5.
Construction worker.
How much do you make?
About $2,500 a week.
Cool. And what's your dream job?
I own my own company.
Trade technician.
Nice. How much do you make?
I make around 50.
Nice. And is this your dream job?
Yes, I love it. It's nothing I else want to do.
We are electricians.
Union electrician.
How much do you make?
We're actually both apprentices, so we
Okay.
make a percentage of the AJ wages. They're actually up to 52 right now, but it's going up to 54
Per
by
hour?
next year. Yes, ma'am.
How long is that till you graduate?
5-year school. You get paid to go to school. You get paid when you're at school. And when we graduate, we'll make $109,000 a year.
What are the best and worst parts? There's got to be some cons.
Sometimes the job sites are a little messed up. It's a
Okay.
pain, but I mean, it's construction.
Our local is fairly big, so it's 5 counties in Maryland and 22 in Virginia and the District of Columbia.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it can be up to 2 hours of a drive.
Do you get that reimbursed?
No.
How many hours a week are you working?
We usually work about 40 hours a week. Some jobs can actually work up to 7, 12.
Overtime?
Oh yeah, it's major overtime.
Any words of advice for others who might want to get into this?
Based on all the knowledge I have from high school, them trying to promote you to going to college, this is a much better deal. You don't come out with debt, making good money.
I would say start young if you are considering a trade. If you are in a trade now and you're feeling like you're not being taken care of, contact your local union representative, local 26. So this is my second trade. I was a printer for 23 years.
Cool.
This pays a lot better. When I left, I was paying $385 a week to healthcare. The company was not in a position that they were able to help. The union has taken care of me, and I have a retirement now that I can look forward to. We have like 4 pots of money that we have when we retire after 20 years of service.
I'm a hairstylist.
I'm also a hairstylist.
How is the work like for you? Rate it 1 out of 10.
I'd say like an 8. I mean, I only work 3 days a week, and I just get to enjoy and hang out with people all day.
I would say also an 8. Love what I do, love getting to hang out with people. I also only work 3 days a week, so it's a pretty nice schedule.
How'd you get this job? Like, what got you into it?
It was kind of an accident, but I was 18, and I just kind of fell into it, not really knowing that I would love it, and then I loved it, got lucky.
I actually was in nursing school first, dropped out because I hated it, and
Good
went
for
to
you.
hair school. And yeah, it's been really great ever since.
Big question. How much do you make?
$160,000.
About $130,000.
Wow. What kind of words of advice or anything that has helped you be successful for other people who might be interested in this?
I would say it would just be like learning how to value yourself and your work, and knowing when to overextend yourself and knowing when not to, and just getting involved in as many creative projects as you can.
About the same, just like really taking care of yourself is number one. Self-care is a major thing with our line of work. It's very hard, it's very strenuous on your body. So just taking care of yourself, also just getting as much education as you can, and yeah, working with as many mentors as you can as well.
Tattoo artist, full time.
How much do you make?
Weekly about $10,000, around so. Busy though, gotta stay busy.
How do you get into this?
My brother really actually got me into it. He got a tattoo one day and I said it looked like shit, I could do better, and I started doing it.
Thank you.
I'm just a plumber. Yep.
Not just a plumber, you're a plumber. How much do you make?
I'm around $75K a year.
How long have you been doing it total?
About 3 years.
What has your experience been so far? Like, what are the pros and cons of your job?
Some pros are I'm a commission-based worker, so I make what I sell. I get really good work-life balance. Some cons are that I am a commission-based worker, so if I'm not getting good work, I'm not getting paid well.
What pieces of advice would you share with anyone who's interested in your industry, or just in general, what you've learned?
You don't need a college degree to make some decent money, so if you're willing to work a little bit, the trades definitely have a lot of opportunities.
I repair suspended concrete.
How much do you make?
About $27 an hour.
How'd you get into it?
My buddy got me in the union.
I'm a nail tech.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it since about 2019.
How much have you made? Like, what do you make doing this?
I make about $7,000 a month. Wow. Yeah, I'd have to do the math to see how much a year that is. I trade a lot because I love the barter system. So I'm like, $7,000 if I have people pay. But other than that, I'm like, I get tattoos. I work in a tattoo shop.
What are the pros and cons of the job? Best and worst parts?
The best part is like making connections and making friends in the community and stuff, and doing community-oriented things. The cons would be like just the physical labor of doing nails and sitting all day. And I'm like, I'm not active because of it. But I think it's pretty much pros.
How's your work-life balance? Like, how many people do you see a day?
I see about 3 to 4 people a day, and I work about 5 days a week. And then if I have an off day and someone needs to get in, then I'll probably work that day as well. But then again, I'm a mom, so I have to take care of my baby.
How did you get into this?
I wanted to do makeup back in the day, and then I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do hair. Then I was like, I don't like hair. Then I was like, let me do aesthetics. And then I was like, I don't like aesthetics. All of it just
trying everything.
Yeah, not fun. And then finally someone was like, you like to draw, you should just draw on some nails. And I said, you know what, we'll try it. And then I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do that. So now I call myself a nail artist because I like to do art on nails.
What are some of the skills that you needed, like art, to get into this? What other skills do you need?
Patience. Patience. Because at first, like, learning how to do acrylic and stuff, like, you're bad. Like, you're bad at first. At first, I was like, I'm not good at this. Should I even, like, pursue this career? But then I was like, you know what? Honestly, yeah, you need to be creative. You need to make your own, like, genre, pretty much. It's always a challenge to figure out how to do, like, Instagram nails and stuff, what everyone wants, and then how to price and how to be fair.
What career advice would you share with anyone who also wants to do what you do? Anything you've learned that you would share?
I was in Berkeley one day, and I went up to the houses up on the hill, and I was like, I need to ask them how they got here. So I went up to some man, and his shirt said, I heart science. So I'm asking, what do you do for work? And he told me, it doesn't matter what you do for work, just do what you love. I love to draw. So I was like, let me just, like, follow what I love, and that will lead you. And now I have, like, opportunities and stuff, you know? So I'm like, yeah, just do what you love.
I'm a union iron worker.
How much do you make?
I make $25.50 an hour.
Do you feel fairly compensated?
Yeah, well, I'm an apprentice right now, so I'm working my way up to the top.
How did y'all get into your role?
I don't know how I really got into it. I first started out as a welder, just kind of went down to the hall and applied, and there I am.
What are the best and worst parts of your job?
First part, probably the heights and dealing with the inclement weather. And the best part is looking back at the job I've done, saying that I built that.
I'm a barber.
How much do you make?
$70,000 and $110,000.
And any tips?
Being a barber? Yes. Go to the classes and the conventions, and that's where you'll grow and you'll learn. Pay attention to YouTube, pay attention to barbers that you admire, then take those barbers and create your own style.
I'm a mechanic.
How much do you make?
About $100,000 a year.
How'd you get into it?
I just always liked working on cars, and so right out of high school, started doing it. Yeah, I went to a trade school, got my degree.
How long have you been doing it total?
Probably 15 years.
Do you have any advice for others who want to be mechanics?
Please come do it. We need people. Yeah, we need people to get trained and be mechanics, and it does pay well, even though it's blue collar.
I'm a maintenance technician. I've been in the maintenance field for about 15 years.
15 years, wow. And how much do you make in your current role?
I make about 70.
Do you feel well compensated?
I'm well compensated because, you know, I'm here, it's easy work, good money.
How is your work-life balance? Like, flexible, or are you working overtime?
Very flexible. Not a lot of overtime. Occasionally I would have to come in for like emergency calls, but rarely.
What are the best and worst parts of the role? What do you like? What don't you like?
On-call, but I don't get a lot of on-calls.
Okay,
but
good.
the best part is just the whole environment, the settings. You know, the staff and everyone that I work with. I love it. I should have been here a long time ago, but hey.
What career advice would you share with anyone who's interested in doing what you do, or what have you learned in general that you would share?
Knowledge is the key. Everyone out there who's looking for a career, whatever your career is, oh yeah! Everybody have different path, so you have to find your path and just work towards that.
I am a journeyman in local 1044, which is Glaziers and Glassworkers.
How much do you make in your role?
In your pocket, it's over $50 an hour, but the total package is like $100.
Do you feel well compensated?
Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been doing it?
Doing glass, 7 years, union, 2 years now.
Very cool. How did you get into it? Did you get a trade degree?
No, I got a job at a family-owned glass shop and cutting glass, and then I realized installing was more money, so I got a job at a non-union shop. And then COVID, actually, they were looking for people to work because nobody wanted to come back from work. And I just got in touch with an organizer, and they got me in.
What are the best and worst parts of your job?
The best parts is the variety of things that you do, and you're moving around. The benefits are awesome. The worst parts is the drama and the petty things, you know? It's kind of like a high school at the shop sometimes.
Any career advice for others that might be interested in doing what you do? How do you break into it? What words of advice do you have?
Yeah, I mean, you can just ask anybody for an entry-level position if you want to learn something, but trades have apprenticeship programs and no debt. You don't need student loans. You make money as you learn, so it's good for anybody that wants to work with their hands, don't mind getting dirty. Also, the flip side, you want to try to stay involved with the union and do the things they want you to do, go to the events, and because then if times are lean, those are the people that are going to get you working.
I'm a tattoo artist.
Very cool. How much do you make?
Probably around like $250K.
Nice. What was your favorite tattoo to do?
I do these really cool gray work with like colored patterns inside. So it's kind of my thing. I call it the Bradley style. It's something I'm trying to do more of.
I love it. What's the worst tattoo you've done?
Birth month flowers.
I'm a dog groomer. I give haircuts to dogs, basically.
How much do you make doing that?
I'm gonna make about $90,000 this year.
$90,000?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you feel well compensated?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had no idea you could make this much being a dog groomer, so.
Yeah, me either. How does that work? Like, do you get paid commission? Do you get paid per dog? How many dogs do you see a week?
Yeah, it depends on where you work. Most places tend to be 50% commission, but some places are leaning more towards lower commission, higher charges for the dogs. And then some places are hourly even. I do about 7-8 dogs a day, so typically I get there at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes I leave like 4:30, 5:30 at the latest usually. Yeah, it's pretty great as far as life balance, and some places don't even require you to be full-time. Some people only work like 4 days a week grooming, and you can still make good money doing that.
Do you like your job? Like, what are the best and worst parts?
I love my job. The worst parts are probably, the carpal tunnel. It's kind of gross. It's very loud. I have been bitten before a couple times. Not too bad. Yeah, you just have to be really aware of dog body language. The best part's you get to work with dogs all day. Like, nothing beats that. If you're an animal lover, I mean, if your heart's in it, it's worth it every day.
How long have you been doing this?
All in all, for about like 4 years or so. I started out as a bather and did that for a year or two while I was in college. I was in college for like 6 years. And then figured out like, oh my gosh, I love this. There's no degree required, which is amazing. It's not even licensed in pretty much all states. There might be a few states that require licensing. So it's pretty unregulated, which is kind of debated upon on whether it should be or not. But yeah, it's just basically an apprenticeship program kind of thing. You just learn how to groom. Some people are self-taught, which is also, hit or miss. But yeah, so no degree required, no technical degree, no license, nothing.
Any career advice that you would share with others who might want to get into dog grooming? Like, what worked for you, tips or tricks?
I would suggest starting out as a bather somewhere, which typically is required, whether it's at like a small business like what I work at or at corporate. They'll teach you how to groom once you meet certain requirements, depending on where you go, if they're willing to. There's a high demand for groomers. There's really a lot of dogs out there, especially after the pandemic. So most places are overrun. It's not like cosmetology or anything like that where you have to build up a clientele. Typically, if you go into an established grooming salon right off the bat, like you're gonna get clients.
I'm a dental assistant.
How long have you been doing it?
So I started in 2019. I started as sterilization tech in DC. So during my senior year of high school. And then I've kind of like learned on the, so got training on the job, and then I started assisting.
How much do you make in your role?
So I started at $14 an hour for almost 2 years, which I, saying the minimum wage in DC was 15, and I was getting paid 14. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. So I went to school, got my x-ray certification. Came here in Virginia. I knew the pay was a little more than what I was getting in DC, and I started at 22. So I recently got a raise this year, and I'm at 27. I want to go back to school, so pursue dental hygiene. So I'm working on that. 27 is not bad. I only have 4 years of experience. My work schedule is perfect. I love my job, and I love my patients.
Any words of advice for others that might want to do this as well?
Find somewhere that's willing to shadow you. Check the state you're in, because every state is different. So you have to read what are the laws in each state. Dental assisting is really nice for someone that's bubbly, outgoing. You want to help. If you care and you want to be in the healthcare system.